Hey guys, welcome to the live stream for last minute AQA Sociology Paper 3 questions. Whoop whoop, last exam tomorrow. Whoop whoop. Just wait for people to join. Start asking questions. I never know what to do at this bit. Hey, Anonymous Thought, you're back. How you feeling about tomorrow's exam? Oh my god, I've already got a thumbs up. Last exam. Honestly, I assume for a lot of you guys this is probably your last exam for your A-levels. I don't know, some of you might have more. I'm glad you guys find this stuff helpful. What are the basics of postmodernity? Let me have a look, because it's been a couple of years since I did my A-levels and I cannot remember anything off the top of my head. I'm not very good at remembering stuff. I swear I'm always in a different location for each of these live streams. I'm just all over the place. So, postmodernity. Sorry, guys. Oh my god, there's 36 of you. What is happening? This is, I think, is probably the most popular live stream I've had. Maybe it's because of the last exam and everyone's crapping their pants. So postmodernity, which we're looking at first, which was asked by Edna. This basically refers to the view that the institutions and ways of living characteristics of modernity have been replaced to such a profound extent that our society is fundamentally different to the modern society. Basically, postmodernity is a new way of thinking in modern society. So basically, obviously this includes things such as globalization. I hope that sort of helps. It's basically just a new way of thinking, and a lot of postmodernists argue that we need a new way of thinking, new theories, new ways of researching. I want to cry. I'm so not ready. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you get ready. Because obviously, last exam, and it's also the one that people probably struggle with most, because obviously it's difficult. Because it's crime and deviance, isn't it? Which I actually quite like. It's not too bad, but obviously, if you guys need any extra support, help, last minute revision, then go check out my video. And social action theory. Let me have a look. People keep... Oh my god. Too many messages already, I can't keep up. So basically, social action theory, they basically believe that what our behaviour, our life chances, our experiences that we go through in life are not influenced by our social background. So basically, whereas a lot of things obviously rely on the fact that we might come from working class or upper class, yeah, if that sort of makes sense. They emphasise the role of the active individual and interactions between others in shaping personal identity and in turn the wider society. Hope that sort of helps. Sorry, I've got so many messages come through, I don't feel like I can spend time. Worried about the variational methods that could come up. Honestly, just sort of, I feel like you sort of go, before the exam, you sort of think you know absolutely nothing, and then you go into it and realise actually you know a lot of stuff, so... how to fit everything in as much detail as possible, but also getting all paragraphs on. Basically, just keep practicing your timings and stuff, and just sort of remember not to babble. Don't just write about random crap. Just make sure everything that you write is necessary in order to get your marks. My last exam is on the 17th. Good luck. Not too long left. Less than a week. Whoop whoop. Can you please explain what the Mook Mafia is? Okay. I just come up with a film. That's nice. It's not helpful. So many messages. I can't keep up. Sorry, I'm just looking up McMafia because there doesn't actually really seem to be much on here at all. And I have a feeling because there's not much of it online, I assume that it's probably not the most necessary thing that you need to know, so don't worry too much about it. And realism hasn't come up at all, so do you think it will come up tomorrow? It's possible. But obviously, again, like I say in all of my live streams, I don't like predicting. So if you're not comfortable with it, revise it. And if you're comfortable with it, then don't stress too much about it. What's McMafia? Again, I can't really seem to find anything online about it, and I don't know how I'll describe it from my memory, so I don't think it would necessarily be the most important thing. Why are you so happy today? Am I not allowed to be happy? Does anyone think sociology is a science is going to come up? Possibly. Might do, might not. But obviously, if, like I said a minute ago, like if you're not comfortable with the topic, then obviously make sure to go over it, and then if it comes up, then it comes up, and you'll feel more confident with it. But if it doesn't, then it just doesn't really matter, and you'll probably forget about it in a week anyway, or even a day. Guys, don't worry, I got an A last year with 2 weeks of work. Whoop whoop, go you! But unfortunately, does not work for everybody. So pick and mix and consumerism, right? Yes. Prevention. What? Prevention of crime? Also, I hope you guys don't mind that I keep looking up stuff, but I just can't remember anything because it's been like 2 years since I did sociology. Hang on. Let me point up, and I'm sure that will help me remember. I don't know what I just tabbed. Cool. Oh, cool. Not on there. Cool. Oh my god, it's taken me so long to answer this one. So there's situational crime prevention. So this is target hardening such as CCTV, window lock shutters, and sloping seats at bus stops. Environmental crime prevention. This is informal and formal social control measures. Emphasise the role of formal measures such as the police. such as zero tolerance policing, ASBOs, curfews, street drinking bans, based on Wilson and Kelling's broken windows theory. And then you've got social and community crime prevention, which focuses on individual offenders and the social context which encourage crime. And secondary. I think primary is like stuff that individuals do, whereas secondary is what companies do or the effects of the original crime. So primary green crime is crimes that are committed directly against the environment or acts that cause harm to the environment. So this can be pollution, animal cruelty, that sort of stuff, or deforestation. Whereas secondary green crime is further crimes that grow out of flouting rules related to the environment. So violence against environmental groups, or bribery / organised crime to avoid environmental regulations. State crime. I feel like I'm wasting so much time here. I feel like I'm literally not getting around I feel like there's so many messages that I'm missing out on. So many just coming in so quickly. So state crime is activity or failures to act that break the law, break the state's own criminal law or public international law. So so state law, I think that's just basically just state crime, is just basically breaking the laws of the state. So the basic sort of murder, robbery, arson, theft, rape, the fun ones, you know. What would you do on a sociology is a science question? I'd say do like obviously the intro, strength, weakness, conclusion. And obviously some strengths you could use sort of about how approachers feel about it, whether and whether obviously because some sociological research can be a lot more subjective than sciences like chemistry and physics and things. So I'm good with everything except how green crime has risen due to globalization. I think because obviously globalization, more produce is being made, things are being shipped more. So obviously there's more deforestation, more sort of things being done against the climate, essentially. Sis, do you have any videos on theory and method? Yes, look at my channel. I love you guys all talking to each other. How much we need to know for each of the different types of crime? Probably not much. Maybe probably just the definition, a couple of examples of it. There may be one or two evaluative points, but I wouldn't imagine you'd need much more than that. Technology comes up on this. Tanya, it is a sociology paper, so stuff is going to come up, so you are 100% going to cry. I'm sorry. Some of you are very, very happy because your last exam tomorrow, which is very, very good. Whoop, whoop. How do we structure 20 marker for theory and methods? So 20 marker, I would say introduction, strength, weakness, conclusion. Like I always do, that's what I do for pretty much every exam, because then it will help increase your marks because it shows a clear structure. And it helps if the strength and limitation that you pair together sort of relate, but obviously don't have to, so don't worry if they don't. But thanks for all your help from everyone. I'm so glad you guys are finding this helpful. Honestly, it's amazing to see how much support you're giving each other, how nice you've all been to me, because I know obviously exposing yourself on the internet, sort of making yourself open to that vulnerability, people can be mean, but you guys are all so lovely. I mean, obviously I get the odd message, but I try to just ignore it because I get so many messages saying how helpful everything's been, and I've really been glad to be able to be this sort of support system for you guys, and that you've all really enjoyed. And obviously give this live stream a thumbs up as well. Whoop, whoop. The Mac Mafia is just how the Mafia has become franchised into a business, and the fact that the Mafia has become global. Yes, Hungry Ford coming in with the information that I can't provide. Talk about the paradigm. Let me have a look. So basically, a paradigm are philosophical and theoretical frameworks used with a discipline to formulate theories, generalizations, and experiments formed in to support them, and they basically just broad perspectives that help explain many different aspects of social life. Basically, how much we need to know for each of the different types of crimes. Again, this was asked earlier, I think, but basically, you don't need to know a huge amount. You probably just want to know definition, a few examples, then maybe 2 evaluation points, preferably strength and weakness, or strength and limitation, just because then you're sort of covered if maybe like an 8 marker comes up. How do we structure a theory and method 20 marker? Again, like I said earlier, introduction, strength, weakness, conclusion. Would you say sociology as a science is unlikely? I would say it's unlikely, but there is a possibility to come up, because I'm pretty sure I remember it coming up last year in the exam, but obviously they can repeat things if they want to, but obviously, like any other topic of any exam, if you're unsure and you're not that comfortable with it, make sure to look over it. What do you think will be the 30 marker? Like I say in every single live stream, I don't like to predict. I think it's dangerous and people can take it the really the wrong way. And I know some people like to, because they like to sort of look at it and look at the ideas and stuff. And sometimes predictions can be really good, but I think at the same time, some people just take it the wrong way. When was the last time you slept? Last night, but I slept really bad, so I'm extremely exhausted. Green crime talks about eco-mafias and world banks. Any predictions for the essay? Again, I don't like predictions. People take them the wrong way, and I just find it. But B finance come up with predictions. So globalization, realism, Marxism, and gender for the 30 markers. They're all the ones that haven't come up anyways. But yeah, again, honestly, anything could come up. Like, even if it came up in last year's exam, they could easily bring it up again, maybe with different marks. But do we need to know location and crime? That is just part of the the bottom-up approach. So that is part of the bottom-up approach of like profiling and finding the offender. Structure for 20 and 30 markers. So obviously, again, 20, I would say introduction, strength, weakness, conclusion. But then for 30, you might want to throw an extra couple of strength or weakness in there. I'm glad you guys are finding this helpful. There are 32 of you, and I've got 9 thumbs up so far, so I'm really, really happy. Obviously, you guys are amazing, and you're all going to do awesome tomorrow. And yeah, like, honestly, do not panic, which I know is so easy to say because I'm not taking the exam. Like, if I was, I would be panicking. How many explanations of corporate crime do we need to remember out of the 4? What do you mean? Meg Heard, could you please rephrase the question, because I don't really understand what you're asking? Good luck on your gap year. How many of you are actually going on gap years? Because I took a gap year and I found it really, really beneficial for going to uni. Woo! Go Naomi! Awesome. I'm so glad you guys have found this helpful. Like, I literally just started this for my revision when I was doing my A-levels, and now that you guys are all here, oh my god, there's like 1,500 of you, and you're all amazing, and you're all so supportive, and you guys like all talk to each other. Oh, thank you. Yeah, guys, let all your friends know about me. Subs. Crime and media. Bear with me 2 seconds. Also, I know some of you guys are like, we could just search this up as well, but I think actually having it explained to you is a bit more beneficial than just reading off the internet yourself, because you're actually listening, you're actually paying attention, and I think as well I can probably explain it in a different way than you might think of it. So, so obviously, so in terms of crime and media, so obviously, media won't actually show every single crime that takes place. They'll just do ones that are immediate, have drama and excitement to them. Obviously, if it's violent, if it's sort of a bit of a novelty sort of thing, if it involves celebrities, or if it obviously fits with stereotypes and things. Obviously, there's all these sort of fictional sort of ideas of crime, but obviously recent trends include reality shows tend to feature young non-white underclass offenders. There is an increasing tendency to show police as corrupt, brutal and less successful, and victims have become more central, with police portrayed as avengers and audience is invited to identify with their suffering. But there are a lot of parts to media and crime, so obviously if you need any more support, then go check out my video. Whoop whoop. What did you get for sociology A level? I think I either got a B or a C. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but that's because I am just not very good at exams. Was not very good at remembering details such as like the year of the research and the names, but unfortunately I don't know the individual grades for each topic. I thought you said we torture each other, but you said talk to each other. Yes, I love that you guys are all talking to each other. Like, so many like cute friendships coming out of this channel. I love it. Anonymous thought. Yes, give us some contemporary examples. We're all in this together. Right, that's enough. That's enough of that. I'm glad you guys find this helpful. I know I keep saying it, but I just literally find it amazing that I literally started putting these videos up because I literally didn't think anyone would look at them. They would find them very interesting. Now there's like 1,500 of you, and there are so many views. Obviously, especially I get the funniest comments on my first video though, because I was definitely nervous. And I had one comment that was like, "Take a shot every time she says which is fair enough. There's part of me that kind of feels like re-recording the video, but I don't know if anyone would want that. So what's your best advice for the exam? Definitely just quickly read through each of the questions. If there's a question that you immediately see and immediately have an idea for, do that question. And obviously, if you don't understand a question, don't spend 5 minutes just sitting there. Just move on to the next one if you can't immediately think of something. Obviously, make sure to read through your big essay questions, especially because obviously they're especially read because obviously if there's spelling mistakes in there or you've missed a word out like I often do, then you won't get as many marks. So yeah, I'm going to upload an aggression video for psychology, I'm not going to be uploading an aggression video just because purely, one, I mean, oh wait, for psychology, no, I'm not, mainly because I didn't study it myself, so I don't feel comfortable passing the information on as someone who didn't experience it personally, if that makes sense. Like, all the topics I've done are all ones that I've studied, so I hope that's like, I'm sorry. How many evaluations do you think we need to know minimum for paper 3? Sorry, Elizabeth. How many evaluations do you think we need to know? I would say it would depend on what topic of each of it, obviously, but I would say sort of you need like a maximum of 4, maybe 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses, but obviously that really much depends on the topic. But obviously, Ali Raf, I hope I've said your name properly, but obviously I will be doing a live stream the day before at 8 o'clock for the psychology exam, so do not panic and you are free to ask me questions then. 2019, the National Student Extinction Rebellion Group interrupted House of Commons Brexit debate semi-naked, led to talks in House of Commons on environmental care. That's an example for dirt crime adaptation and change, and also an eco-centric view on green crime. Definitely going to get up early so I can watch your video before the exam. Is it a morning exam tomorrow? 2019, The Guardian, 1 in 5 employers were paying under minimum wage, and when caught were only fined and not arrested. Example of Marxist argument on how crimes of the powerful aren't prosecuted. Yes, anonymous thought. Bring in all the knowledge today. Love that from you. Oh my god, why are the views going down? Where's everyone going? Surely you can't be having like tea at this time. Yes, anonymous thought. Do it, do it, do it. Share them. I mean, you don't really need contemporary examples. They're helpful, and they may help to bring up your marks depending on the topic, but they're not essential because you can use a lot of other examples. Not gonna lie, I'm cooking tea right now. I mean, fair enough, you're cooking tea. Then I get that. But like, please watch my live stream at the same time so you can have some help. Any advice on suicide/mental health for crime? No. I don't really understand that question, because I don't really remember there much being on suicide or mental health. It is a morning exam. Oh, you guys are you guys going to be able to watch Love Island tonight? Also, a bit off topic, but I can't believe Sherry's been kicked out. What the hell? Anton's going to come in and swoop and take Anna, and I'm upset. I personally don't use contemporary examples because I find it easier, but still get some good marks. Gender and crime. Gender and crime. So obviously that is like males are more likely to be prosecuted. Hi! Sorry, my dad just got back from a party, living a more sociable life than I am. So obviously gender crime. Most males tend to be more likely to commit crimes. Women are less likely to have a harsh sentence, etc. For 30 markers, in which one should we evaluate the influence of statistics? Any. Statistics can be really handy in pretty much any sort of one. I mean, not any, but you know what I sort of mean. Participant observation. So this is basically where the researcher takes part in the research. So they're part of the group of people that they're observing, if that makes sense. They're actually in with the people, but often this can have a lot of negative impact on the research because obviously they will most likely only be able to make notes at the end of the day. So obviously they may forget things. 29 BuzzFeed News, black thief backed out of liquor store after shop owner pulled out a gun. The CCTV footage was later released to Facebook where Philadelphia police commented, females are less likely to be prosecuted. Yes, chivalry. I would have pulled the trigger and it's a great day for a chokehold. Oh, bye Naomi. Example for institutional racism is obviously, yeah, so I think that's sort of what you said. earlier anonymous thought, but also like all this like shootings of like black people in America. Just find literally any example of that, and it shows institutional racism. What about state crime or human rights / criminal justice system? You don't really need to know great amounts of that. That's a very small topic of the whole module. So really you just need definition, maybe a couple of points, maybe a couple of evaluation points, but MGR, who are you talking to? Are you just talking generally to everyone? Anyone want more? Yes, anonymous thought. Give us all the information. Example of institutional racism. McPherson report, result of the Stephen Lawrence murder, which highlighted racist policies within the police force. If, for example, someone has left their last minute revision until now, what would you suggest focusing on to get a pass? Honestly, do not worry about trying to make the information long term, just too short term. Practice exam questions, and even if you want to get through these questions quicker and do more practice when it comes to the big essays, just write bullet points, because I think if you at least know what you'd write then and how you'd write it, then you'll be fine. But yeah, just practice questions, and I don't think necessarily just reading your notes is the best way to do it. So yeah, just keep practicing questions, watch my videos. Boop, boop. And then obviously you're all welcome to email me at emily.froud@uea.ac.uk if you have any questions, because I'll be able to give a bit more of an in-depth answer than I can necessarily on here. Any other questions? Also, I found out today, guys. Okay, I've just finished my first year at uni, and I averaged my module with a first. Whoop whoop. Also, I don't have any exams left. I'm lucky enough that I left sixth form a couple of years ago, and my uni course over the whole 3 years has no exams. Whoop 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 whoop. What time will you finish tonight's live stream? Basically when people stop asking questions and everyone's sick of listening to me, sick of looking at me, I will just finish whenever, but obviously I will be done by 9 o'clock in time for Love Island. Hall Moral Panic, contemporary example, 2019 Herald. Shamima Begum crisis, outrage of a jihadi bride, bid to distract from Brexit disaster. Yes, first. Sick bro. Just got to find out about my other 2 essays, but hopefully there'll be like a high 2-1 or first, depending on whether my lecturers realise how much shit I've written. Yes. But first year done. And I've got so many good things happening for year 2. I'm so pumped. Any other questions? Also, I might try and do some videos on chemistry, maybe some maths possibly, but like maths would be like GCSE. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do with my channel after now, once I sort of run out of A-level subjects I did. How busy are you at uni compared to sixth form? So my uni course personally, so I do the BA education course at the UEA. I do 12 hours a week in lectures and seminars, which is nothing. It's 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. But obviously there are periods of time where I'm super chaotic, super busy, because either there'll be more overtime at work, so I won't have time to do a lot of stuff that I might necessarily have time to do normally. But also when there are a few essays, because we had 3,000 word essays due in at the end of the year, and there's presentations plus essays you have to work on. So it sort of varies throughout the year. Like at the beginning of each semester, you're pretty quiet, it's pretty chill, but then towards the end, you're like pulling your hair out because you're so stressed out. But obviously, if a lot of you, I'm sure, are planning on having jobs whilst you're at uni, I would say nothing more than 15 hours, 15, 1-5, just because you need time to do your essays and things. Do you have any predictions? I don't like to predict. I know I say this all the time, and those of you who have been here for every live stream think I'm being so repetitive, but I just don't like it. pardon me. I think some people just take it the wrong way sometimes and focus on the predictions that are possibly made, and then they'll get into the exam and absolutely cry because none of the predictions will be right. What are property crimes? So property crimes is basically a crime against property, I think. It's basically burglary, theft, larceny, but it also includes like motor vehicle theft, arson, shoplifting and vandalism, that sort of stuff. So it's basically just a crime to obtain money and get some sort of benefit from it. Reasons for high crime rates: more inequality within society. I believe there's been a rise in gangs. Obviously, the rise of media and the sort of more awareness, greater awareness of institutionalism of racism, institutionalized racism, etc. Postmodernity and modernity theory. So basically, I spoke about this earlier, but postmodernity is basically the idea that we've moved on from modern society to a postmodern society where we now need new theories, new ways of researching and thinking to develop a different type of society. Math GCSE videos might be helpful, but make sure not to forget that the spec will have changed. Yeah, I will make sure that when I've done some of these videos, I've definitely tried to follow along with the spec and see what's on there. So I'll definitely try and do that for them. Good luck with your revision, MGR. You're going to be awesome. Any big names to the exams we should be aware of? Just check out my crime and deviance video, and I've got theory and methods as well, so just check out my videos for any names and they'll all be in there. I was able to save the live from tonight. Yes, it will be on my channel as soon as it finishes. It will be there, ready for you to watch and look at. Obviously it'll probably have a bit of a funny thumbnail on it for a while, so when I eventually get around to opening Paint on my laptop. I'm praying for a theory question for theory methods. See, I find that quite funny because I always much preferred the methods, like the actual research questions, which is funny because I'm petrified about doing research at uni. So for globalisation question, just an example, can I write 4 paragraphs on globalisation 1, on green crime 1, and on 4 paragraphs on 1 on green crime? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. You could probably also say about media and postmodernity for that as well. Who may show up on the PAP? Durkheim. Yeah, Durkheim, our favourite lad. Oh, any other questions? Whilst I am here, numbers are slowly going down. But obviously, I would love if you guys gave this live stream a thumbs up as well. And I really hope you found this helpful, because the whole point of me being here is that I'm able to help you. Anonymous Thought, you are weird. So everyone knows, Anonymous Thought hates Durkheim because he is a waste man. Just remember, guys, at least it is the last exam. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Last exam. Well, for sociology anyway. I know it's not the last exam for everyone. Didn't realise there was so much hatred for Durkheim. I do not remember this much hatred for Durkheim. Although, in fairness, I did do it online, so I didn't talk to anyone. Any advice to us tonight? Just chill out, just have an early night, just watch Love Island, then immediately go to bed. But obviously just don't panic, and anything you sort of try and do now will only be short-term memory. Like, you're not going to be able to totally 100% remember it for the rest of your life. Can't wait to clean my room after the exam. That's one way to celebrate. I've still got 3 more exams after sociology. Won't be much longer though, so Once it's all done, you can enjoy summer until you either go on a gap year or go to uni or go into employment or whatever you want to do. Trust me, there'll be people like that when you're at uni. Like, there'll be some, like, there's a couple of sociologists that we've looked at, like John Locke and Rousseau. They're just everywhere. Everywhere. Can you say something about value freedom, please? Hang on. So basically, value freedom is essentially the researcher's freedom to still hold all their values and beliefs when it comes to actually completing the research. But are able to stop it from interfering with the research process and impacting the actual research. What do you think about Molly May? Don't even get me started. Honestly, I thought she took Tommy off Lucy, and now she's going after Danny, and I'm like, you one day needs a chance, you know? She's got all these boys running around after her, and yet she's going off for the new boy that comes in every single time. It's like, chill out. Like, other people are meant to be here to find someone. I heard apparently that Sharif was like on his own personal phone, like checking out like social media and stuff, or like trying to contact his family, which is a big no-no in Love Island world. So, but obviously there are still lots of rumours. Also, thinking of earlier when someone asked about how long I would be live streaming for, I don't know how long because I started this off with about 60% battery, and now I've got 10%. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last. Why are we now talking about Love Island? Just because obviously Love Island's on tonight and I don't want people staying up too late trying to watch it and things. Yes, if someone asks a sociology question, I can talk about sociology, but we're just talking about it because Love Island's on tonight. No one was asking any sociology questions. I'm sorry. My phone is getting very hot. Any more questions, guys? I'm gonna leave it like another minute to see if any questions come through, but if not, I'm gonna go because I don't want my phone to die. Don't you always feel like your phone takes so much longer to charge though when it dies? Whereas if you actually start charging it from like 1%, it's like fine. You get me? Is it best to do the 30 marker first? No. I mean, it's all up to personal preference, I think, but I would say just to quickly go through all the questions, and if you have an immediate answer to one, then do it. Like if you have an immediate answer to a question, then just go do it, and then you can just move on to the next one. So obviously just go through the questions as and when you have ideas for them. Like, don't sit there for 10 minutes thinking about one question whilst you've got another exam paper, the whole of the rest of the exam papers doing that. My advice to everyone is look at AQA Sociology hashtag on Twitter and realise everyone's fucked. Yeah, to be fair, even when I'm not doing the exams now, I love seeing your reactions to it. I always feel so bad though when everyone's found it shit, because I feel like I just want to like message you all guys and be like, I hope you did okay. But I feel like sometimes, like when I do community posts, like people don't just sort of ignore them. 20 mark on theory. I do not know what it was on last year, but you'll be able to find that on the AQA website. Hello. I'm just doing a live stream at the moment. Okay. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Love you. What grade did you get in sociology and psychology? So I think they're both either B's or C's. I think somewhere around there. I literally cannot remember. I just don't really tend to think about it because I hated sixth form. Any blinks in the chat though? What does that mean? What's a blink? Where? Anonymous thought, I think I found a new friend. I love this, guys. You're all talking to each other. Also, don't mind my dad coming in. He's just going to bed. He's just come back from a party, and now he's going to bed. Any more sociology questions? If not, I'm going to go in 15 seconds. How did it feel after sitting your final exam? Amazing. It was so nice to chill out, and it meant that I was literally had an entire year to chill out and not do anything till I started uni. Whoop whoop. Oh, my phone is now on 5%, guys. But so I'm gonna go. But obviously, good luck with your exam tomorrow. You're gonna be great. Enjoy Love Island. Love you all. You're gonna be fine. Please don't unsubscribe to my channel because my subs will really go down then. Lol. Bye. This live stream will also be available on my channel after. So good luck to everybody. Bye bye.